guys, Spirit Warrior 40k here, and this is our weekly update. So yeah, a few things to discuss this week. A couple based on some videos I've seen on the internet, and I think just an issue brought up with building your own armies, which I thought we'd discuss. So yeah, and we'd sort of just discuss some of the move that. There we go. Some of the armies out in 8th, really, how they're doing, what you think about them, and how they differ from 7th. Bear in mind, my knowledge again is limited, but yeah, we'll just sort of discuss what's going on. So first, so when we build our armies, I think when we first get into the hobby, we just sort of veer towards an army that we like, that's maybe popular at the time. So for example, I know a lot of people that are just buying up Death Guard, because they're obviously popular. Obviously, we know that Space Marines are pushed by Games Workshop loads. And yeah, I mean, when I very first started years and years ago, I went down Blood Angels route, picked some units that I liked, painted them up. They were terrible, and then sort of left it for a few years, and then got back into it later on. And I don't know why I veered towards Eldar. I think I just like the models, to be fair. It's funny that the models I actually liked at the time and painted up, I can't stand now. But yeah, but then I sort of went out and read the fluff of the Eldar. I just really liked it. And same with like my craft world. I run out Eandon, and it just resonated with me quite a lot with them. Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I think there was a personal link between the Eldar and how they sort of delve into um, their own sort of greed and their lust and whatnot, and then the fall and the fallout of that, and it sort of really resonated with me by a personal level, which we're not going to go into. But yeah, but in general, when I'm looking at an army, I must admit when I very first sort of started back Christmas this year's January this year, when I sort of really sort of decided to sort of pick up the game and really learn the rules and whatnot. I went on a load of channels and found Striker Scorpion 82. I sort of instantly signed up to his paid channel, which is now on Vimeo. For those of you that want to check him out, if you're on Vimeo, it's Striker Scorpion 82. It's on demand, so you have to pay for it. But he does a free one on YouTube. But anyway, and I kind of just copied his army, if I'm honest, because it was rinsing the channel that he did his little league on, and yeah, and thought that was what the basics of my army was going to build up from there. If I'm honest, I did actually really like some of the units he used, but then 8th editions kind of hit off, and he stopped using them so much because obviously the codex was now, so he was sort of doing his own stuff, and it sort of made me want to really sort of look at my army. So downloaded Battlescribe, sort of looked at different units and whatnot, and what it came down to in the end was which units I like, what the units I like the look of, what the units I like the colour scheme, I like to paint, and I'm big on Aspect Warriors, love them, mostly because this just gives you that variety of colour. I don't like dark colours, I really don't. You know, but and it gives you that break from, you know, if you're a Space Marine, like I've got some Dark Angels, and at the other day, yes, I know it's a dark colour, but it's still a colour. It's not black. And you're just painting green, 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 green. Bit of bone for the Deathwing, then back to green, green again. Whereas with the Eldar, bit your craft world, so Eandon, yellow and blue, and then you paint a load of models up with that. Get a bit bored, paint some Scorpions. They're green. Go back to some Eandon, a bit bored of the yellow, and then go back to paint some Fire Dragons. They're orange. and then just sort of switch it up, and it's sort of really enjoy that. Um, yeah, so it was very much about what do I like? What do I like to paint? And the thing is, now I started to play the game, it really doesn't work that well. So I don't like troops. I must admit, I don't like the Guardians. I don't like painting. I don't like the models. Dire Avengers are okay, but just they're still not the best. But on the crux of it, they're actually not great units. If I'm honest, the Storm Guardians. Sorry, not the Guardian Defenders. 3+, but there's no AP. Damage is 1 on their Shrieking Catapults, and the Dire Avengers. They're a bit better, but but for the points that I'm running, they have to be units of 5 rather than units of 10. And also, for some reason, Games Workshop now sell a set of defenders in a box of 5 rather than a box of 10, which is rubbish, because I remember buying a box of defenders once in a box of 10, and now I can only buy them in a box of 5, and I think it's the same price. So that's good. Thanks, Games Workshop. But yeah, so it just doesn't work in the same way as when you're just sort of building an army. So when you're playing it, a good example was the game I played last week. I stuck stuff in a Wave Serpent, stuck my Scorpions in the shadows, and it just sort of left my HQs out in the open. Yes, they were behind something in my Wraith Lord, but they were still very vulnerable. And the guy said to me, he goes, "Why do you not have any troops just to surround your HQs?" And I was like, "Because I don't like the HQ. I don't like the troops. But you need them. You need those troops to protect that HQ from being charged or from being shot at." And I know this for some of you guys that have played for years. You're probably thinking, "Well, duh." But it just didn't ring out to me. I know that that your warlord can't be targeted unless it's the closest model, so you've got to stick some things around it, which is why I put the Wraith Lord in front of him. But it was just like, yeah, need some troops. So that kind of brings us on to the next point. So my issue was I don't like the troops. I just don't like them. So it was a case of, could I just shove my HQ in the Wave Serpent and then get on with it? And then I sort of looked at the come out. Obviously now the Codex for the Eldars come out. I was looking at the stratagems, and I only have 4. And when I was complete, I'd still only have 5, I think. So it just didn't work. And the issue was that I need more command points. So I had to deal with that. So yeah, it was a case of, I need command points because I just didn't have enough. So I sort of looked at a few other videos. Again, Striker Scorpions made his list now. And it was just a case of, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go with some Guardians and Avengers. So the issue is again, because it's still quite new to me, going through watch stuff, I've kind of realised that, again, I need to tailor my army for certain needs. I've got tons of units that will get into combat. I've got units that will stay back, but it's working them in synergy. And that's the crux of winning these games, I think. Not that I'm overly experienced in winning, but what I've come to realise is the armies that are beating me work really well as units in cohesion. So things like taking some Wraith Blades, taking a Spirit Seer, taking the Citronome of Yanden, and it all works in synergy. I can't do that because I don't have Wraith Blades and I don't have a Spirit Seer yet, but it all works in synergy, which will be really good when I get it sorted. But yeah, so my issue now, just having decided of troops, was what troops do I take? And I wanted to incorporate both. Do I take 2 units of 10 Guardians who fire at 2 shots each at 12 inches, bear in mind, but have not great save, but they get the long range weapon. Or do I take two units of 5 Avengers who still only fire 2 shots each? Yes, it's 18 inches, but bear in mind one of them will have the glaive and the shimmer shield, so that the unit can get a 5+ invuln save. So really, out the two, you only got 8 shots, which still isn't as much as the Guardians. And what it came down to, guys, was the units I liked the better. That was generally it. I looked at all the stats, and I think my head was saying take 2 units of Guardians. My heart was just saying take two Avengers, which is what I'm going to do. To be fair, guys, and you can again comment below, guys, and tell me that I'm daft. But and it just I prefer them. I mean, they're a little bit tougher. They've got the 4+ up save. They've got the five up on Overwatch. The Exarch's got a 4+ invuln save, and if he's got a shimmer shield, then he gets a 5. Then the unit gets a 5+ invuln save, which is just better. I know they're losing that long range stuff, and they're losing a certain, we're losing the shots, but I just prefer them. So the plan is 2 units of 5 Avengers, and then 1 unit of Guardian Defenders. And what's really annoying is that in May, when I was tailoring my army and I didn't think I needed them, I actually sold a unit of Guardian Defenders and a unit of 8 Dire Avengers. So yeah, that's just peachy. Yes, that sort of brings the end of the army building. Comment below, guys. Tell me what your issues are with building your armies. Do you go with ones that are just full of units you like, or do you start straight off with tailoring your army to certain things? Do you just trial and error? Do you make your army, go for it, then go, okay, well, I need to do this, this, and this to tweak it, build that up, then go in again, okay, we're still missing this, or this just doesn't work with it. Yeah. And if you're an Iyanden player, help. I am Aspect Warrior heavy, Elite Warrior heavy. Christmas is coming up, so I'm hoping to get a few extra units. So yeah, bear in mind that by taking these 2 units of Defenders and the Avengers and a unit of Defenders, I am having to drop my Wraith Lord, which sucks. So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, so that's the end of that bit. Very quickly then, I just wanted to go into the armies of 8. Obviously, Eldar are struggling. I still think they're going to struggle even with the Codex out and all the stratagems and stuff. I've looked through the book. We do not have many weapons that have minus APs. We really don't. A lot of things are strength 4. A lot of our units are toughness 3 or toughness 4. They're just, I don't know. Again, I'm struggling with the synergy stuff at the moment. I'm struggling with a lot of things. So I'm just trying to put it all together and ask your help, really. But yeah, I just don't think Eldar. We know they're not they've been nerfed, I think is the term, from 8th, which was good. They were very powerful, but yeah, it's just it is just they are not very strong. Yeah, so they're just not the unit they were. But if you think fluff wise, I think that works because they're not the unit that they were. They're 95% of them were taken out by the fall. They're getting rinsed left, right, and centre. I think so. I think it actually works better with the fluff that they're not as strong. I haven't seen a lot of Space Marine stuff, but from what I have seen, they seem pretty good. I've played a guy that's mostly, it's all Primaris. Yeah, Hellblasters suck to me, mostly because they just kill everything that comes near me, that I get near them. So yeah, I haven't really seen enough of it, if I'm honest. And through watching YouTube videos, I haven't really seen much that's mainly um, Primaris. In terms of the older stuff, I've watched a few videos about with Blood Angels, and they just get rinsed every time. But I just don't think that army works on that channel, if I'm honest. Death Guard seem really good. They do seem really good. Mortarion looks just wicked. Um, so yeah, I do think they're quite strong. Yeah, Chaos in general just look strong. I think obviously, and again, I think again that works with the fluff that's come out. You know, this big rifts come out tearing the galaxy in two. Chaos is just sprawling out into the world, and yeah, I just think that it just works quite well. If they're more strong, obviously that's true because they're pouring out everywhere. So you know, I played a couple of games against Roger at Games Workshop in Dudley. Come down, have a game. If you're in the area, and yeah, it just they are quite strong. Um, but let's just not beat around the bush, guys. The strongest team out there at the moment is just Astra Militarum. They are immense. They really are. And considering they were useless, in my opinion, they just really are strong. I mean, I've watched a load of battles online, obviously, and they're just really good. I mean, they're just tanks blowing the crap out of everything. Um, Immense amounts of men. There's just tons of them. I know in seventh, I think each man costs 2 points. So you know, and I think that kind of statistic, I haven't read it properly, so don't quote me. Is still quite cheap. You know, it's just mad. Um, but yeah, they do seem really good. And again, fluff wise, I like that. You know, I know they're not Space Marines, but you have a gun line of like 50, 60 men and some mega tanks. You know, the least I've seen in an army is four, and one of them was this massive thing, bigger than a Baneblade. Um, Shadow Storm. That could be completely wrong there, guys, but yeah. Um, so I do like it. You know, in fluff wise, that's pretty immense. Um, so yeah, I think they're the army to beat at the moment. It'd be interesting to see what happens when Blood Angels and Dark Angels come out. Obviously, we've got Demons coming out as well. I'd really like to see the Tau come out, if I'm honest, guys. First, one, because I would like to, after Christmas, start building up a Tau army. Um, but secondly, because I think they could be really strong. I know they're terrible in close combat, but I just think with some stratagems, I think they're going to be really difficult to defeat, and they already are. If I'm honest, the videos I've watched, they are really good. I think I've only seen them lose like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I know I said I was planning to show you the model I'm working on for the guy I look after. I've completely left it somewhere. I haven't got it, guys. So when I get a chance, I will show you. I might just literally do like a 3-minute video when I get home, and I'll show off the miniature. I like it. It's really cool. It's white with a blue sort of recess shade. But yeah, so yep. So subscribe, guys. Press the bell for notifications. Like the video. Please comment. I really like the comments that I do get. So just keep them coming, guys. Let's get a dialect going. Let's get some conversations going. Like I said, let me know how you build your armies. Who do you think are the armies of 8th edition so far? You can tell me to shut up with regards to dissing the Eldar, even though I'm an Eldar player. I think they're useless in 8th. I don't think, but again, I think that's more my lack of tactical synergy than them as a race. Yeah, so like I said, comment, subscribe, and I will check you next time. Ciao.